Start the broadcast, then start recording.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Matthew from the Impact Innovation Group, and we're working with the Queensland Government to deliver a series of webinars for Queensland Small Business Week. Today's webinar topic is creating an effective marketing message with our guest presenter, Megan Taylor from Kapow Interactive Digital Marketing. Just while we are waiting for other people to connect into the webinar, I'll go through some of the tools we'll be using for those who haven't used or viewed a webinar using the Citric GoToWebinar systems before. Your screen should look like this, a slide in the center when the control panel or a dashboard on your right-hand side. This control panel will collapse automatically when you're not using it, so try and keep it open. Just click the View menu up top and uncheck the Auto Hide control panel. During the webinar, we might ask you a question so we can better understand your experience with the topic. We'll ask you to raise your hand, and to do that, just click the little red hand icon on the side control panel. Remember to lower your hand afterwards just by clicking the icon again. There's also an opportunity for you to ask questions so the webinar can flow smoothly and we stick to the time allocated. We prefer to answer the questions at the end, but you can send your questions through to us throughout the webinar when they occur to you. Just so you can also use this function, let us know if there's any problems. Just as a test, can you all raise your hand if you can hear me? Yeah, looking good. Awesome. Just breeze over that. Now, we also have some handouts for you, which you can access and download by clicking on this section here. Megan has kindly agreed to share her slide deck with you, and that's where you can access it. Now, please don't forget to download these documents as they have been specifically prepared to help you better understand today's webinar. They will not be available to download after the completion of the webinar, so I'll remind you again after the presentation. I recommend you do this now because the handouts won't be available on recording on YouTube either. So now it's time to bring on our presenter for today. Megan and Kapow Interactive help small and medium-sized businesses develop their potential online. They take the time to thoroughly understand what makes your business tick, where you're headed, and what scares you. This allows them to provide the best solution for your business right now and your plan of what you will need to do in the future. Megan is eager to help you develop highly effective businesses and will share her marketing knowledge and help streamline and automate your workflows while giving you tips on developing a better home work-life balance. Welcome to the webinar, Megan, as I'll transfer over.
Hi everybody, if you can hear me, can you just pop your hand up? Awesome, thank you very much. What I might do is I might swap over to webcam so you guys can see where I am over here. There we go, can you see me? And I'll just share my screen as well. And hopefully that'll come up in just a moment. Here we go. All right, so today what we're doing is we're talking about an effective marketing message. Now that really, actually I might pop my webcam up just so that it doesn't take your bandwidth too much. There we go. So what we're going to be doing today is just talking about an effective marketing message, which is a very simple, easy framework that you can use for a number of different circumstances, and something that is very repeatable that you're going to be able to take away and start using straight away in your business. So today what we're going to cover, the first thing we're going to cover is 3 marketing fundamentals. Important to have those in place before we proceed on, because everything will have a flow-on effect. Then we'll go through the marketing message framework. And then at the end, we're going to cover some examples of how this framework has been used in real life so that you can see how it works. So we'll start with the 3 marketing fundamentals. And really the fundamentals, it's all about getting back to basics with your business, making sure that you understand where you've come from, giving yourself a really solid foundation so that everything you do is strategic and important and flows through in the direction that you're expecting it to. Doing that planning ahead of time is going to mean that what you're doing is much more effective. And that obviously applies to more than just the marketing side of things. It applies to everything you do in the business. So just like everything else, it's just going to be a question of trying to find the time to set aside to make sure you're working on your business, not in your business. And I see that all of you guys today are already well on the way to doing that because you're already attending webinars and things, which is fantastic. So well done. Give yourself a pat on the back. The first fundamental that we're going to cover today is going to be your business goals. So your goals give you a path to tread to be able to reach where you want to go. So it's really important before you start doing very much marketing that you sit back and have a think, whether it's just yourself, whether you have a boss, whether you have a business partner. If you're a sole trader, consider whether you have a friend or another colleague that you have in another business, and just run some of your ideas by them, just so that you can clarify in your mind what it is that you want to be trying to achieve. So even if it's not a specific business goal, if it's not a specific marketing goal, it can still have an effect on your marketing side of the business. So for example, you could be wanting to get new clients, and that obviously will have a very clear correlation with your marketing. But some things, maybe it's more about decreasing the admin overheads in your business, for example. And you wouldn't think that marketing has a lot to do with that, but you know, you may find that by looking at that goal and decreasing your admin overheads, part of that is creating automation. And marketing in between your website and your social media and email marketing and whatever channels you use can all take part in automating things to make things easier for you. So again, good idea, just write down some ideas and some goals. You may have heard of the SMART goals framework. If you haven't heard of that before, look it up. It's going to be really useful for you and effective for all sorts of things in your business. Once you have your goals in hand, the next thing you need to look at is who your target market is. Your target market is the group of people who you're trying to pass your marketing message onto. Now, most businesses, especially small businesses like us, have a lot of things going on all at the same time. You will find that you don't have one target market. You may have 7 or 9 or 3. There are lots of different things that relate to different markets. You may have, say, 2 main services that your business provides, and one service tends to be populated by a certain group of people, and another service tends to be having a different set of customers. So when you're doing your marketing, making sure that you think of one particular set of people you have in mind will help you to make sure that your message goes as far as possible and that it becomes something that's very meaningful to those people by creating a very targeted message. The last fundamental that I just wanted to quickly cover today is about your features and your benefits. Most of you have probably heard about features and benefits before. I find personally this to be one of the hardest things to do for my business. It's really hard when you're in the inside of your business to try to think of it from an external perspective. Knowing these are the things that I offer, very easy to write down, this is what I offer, but then when you try to translate each of those things into how does this make my customer's life easier into a benefit can be very difficult. So this is where it's really important to be talking with your customers, getting some regular feedback from them, talking with business colleagues, seeing if you can get some feedback via, sometimes people can do surveys or email marketing. You can be getting some feedback through there. Certainly looking at testimonials that you've gotten. Maybe you've got some reviews on Facebook, or if you're in tourism, you might have some on TripAdvisor or other channels like that. Your Google business listings will have some reviews on them as well. And you'll find that the things that people mention are the things that are the biggest benefit to them. So they may say, oh, I love working with your business because you make it really easy for me to follow through with the steps that you've given me. And those are the things that you want to find what happens again and again, what people keep mentioning, and those are the things that you want to proactively market to your target market. If you don't have a lot of feedback from people, now is the best time to start. Before you worry about anything else, find out where your customers are at. No one knows what you need to do more than your customers in some ways. So think about who are the people who you like working with the most, who are the people who you do the most work with, which may be a little bit different. Talk to the people who you know love you. Talk to the people who aren't having a good time with you so that you can find out what's going on and you can see what is important to them and how you can fix it. That side of customer service will all flow in, and everything you do in this side of business development will be able to help you with your marketing, with your strategy, with your customer service, with all of your goals. There's a huge flow-on effect, and it's just a great habit to get into. So now that we have those 3 marketing fundamentals in place, I'm just going to talk you through a very simple marketing message framework. This framework, as I said, is going to just has 4 steps in it, and it's going to allow you to create any sort of message that you want that we can target to your targeted audience. So this framework, what it will do is it will pull together all of this background that you've done. So you're going to take your goals, you're going to think about your target audience, you're going to think about your features and your benefits, and create an idea by looking through those as, okay, right, I want to be talking to, say, people who are in my local area. It might be, if you're doing demographics, you might be looking for people who, say, your decision makers tend to be maybe the females who are aged about 35 to 55, that their interests are in you know, whatever suits your business. Create a little bit of a persona for your target audience. Think about how you can merge your business goals in with what your target audience wants and what sort of benefits your particular products and services are going to be able to give to those people. Make it really accessible to them. So this is going to give you a bit of an idea, and then we're going to use this framework to put it together in an effective message. So the first step in creating an effective message is to grab people's attention. This can be done in a bunch of different ways. You can ask a question. You can make a controversial statement. You can have an image that's going to grab them straight away. This, if you don't manage to grab their attention, there's no point in following on. So it's important to get some ideas out there. And again, go to your support person, whoever that is, your business partner, your boss, your even your employees, if you have employees. And maybe you guys can create 2 or 3 different ideas. What's going to relate best to our audience? If you do Facebook, people love asking for feedback on Facebook. So you can put some suggestions and ideas out there, and you'll find those posts are really engaging. Our clients find that they work really well. Once you've grabbed their attention, the next thing that you need to do is you need to paint a picture for them. So given your initial statement or your initial question, what is it that you want them to achieve? So a lot of ads, visual ads, will actually literally use a picture, and they'll use the picture that relates to how people want to be, what people expect. Give them something that they say, oh yeah, that's what I want. That's exactly what I need. You can do that with pictures. You can do that with text. Basically, you want to put them in a little dream world where they say, oh my goodness, this is exactly what I need. This is exactly what I want. How do I make it happen? I'll show you some examples of this in a little bit. So my little picture of that woman here is just to give us an idea of someone who's so excited that they want to just get there straight away. Once you've given them an idea of what they can achieve, your job is to offer them a solution, to show them how to be able to get there. This is going to be obviously using your services and your products, using your business. So this is the salesy part of your marketing message, where you say, you know, by working with Queensland Florist, you will find that, you know, that you use your features and your benefits, that we save you time, we save you money, we make things easier. Hit them in wherever hurts them the hardest. You know, if your customer's big problem is that they don't have enough time, explain to them explicitly how you're going to save them time. If your product, the big advantage is that you do amazing delivery service, then you can paint the lovely picture there of what it's like to be able to not have to go out and pick things up, that you guys will sort it out for them. And you say, then you can talk about, you know, our delivery trucks have drivers who know the area and will get things to you on time every time, and explain why your business is the best way to get the solution that you were talking about when you painted your picture before. Once you've got your solution in there, the last thing you need to do is create a call to action. So your call to action is what makes people want to do something. We want to get them off their seat. We want them to click a button. We want them to email you. We want them to pick up the phone. We want them to come into your shop. We want them to like you on Facebook. Think about one main thing that you'd like them to do. And we're going to create a call to action encouraging to do that one thing. If you ask them to do lots of things, you can email us, you can call us, you can come on the website, you can send us a message on Facebook. You'll find that dilutes your message. People will get indecisive and they'll say, oh, I'm not really quite sure what to do. There's just, people don't have a lot of time, and you got to make it super easy for them. So you make a clear call to action that says, give us a ring now on 1300 Queensland Florist, and we will give you an obligation-free quote today. You don't have to be cheesy sales message like that. Make it suit your business, the tone that you use, the things that suit your customers the best. Your call to action is the way to get them to do what you want them to. So you need to make sure that you encourage them to do it in the way that works best for you. So in summary, the 4 easy things that we're going to do in this framework: you're going to grab everybody's attention with a question or a headline or a picture. You're going to paint them a picture of what they can achieve and where they want to be. Put them in their little dream world so they want to run right there. You want to offer a solution that will get them to the end game straight away, and then make it easy for them to contact you and use your business. Not too tricky, hey? So I'd like to show you through, now that you've seen what the framework is, some examples of how this framework can be used in real life. You're going to probably laugh a little bit. The first example that I've got is one of those cheesy sponsored ads that everybody sees on the internet all over the place, these Google AdSense ads. Cable companies are furious over this new device. And that for sure is an attention grabber, isn't it? So the headline there makes you really curious. It makes you want to know what it is that people are angry over. When you click on this ad, they take you to an article. That article, once you've grabbed the attention, goes through. It paints that picture straight away and says, this device allows you to do get your own things without having to pay the cable companies. It's amazing. This is what you're going to be able to do with it. They talk about their benefits to their customers, and then at the end they say, it's so easy, this is how you go and you can buy it straight away from us, straight away. Another example of one of these little ads online. Upwork, get more done with freelancers. Learn how to attract top talent. So they've got a picture that they've painted right here of a girl, a woman, who's sitting at the computer. She's smiling, she's happy, everything's simple, going really smoothly. It is an awesome day at the office for this lady because she's delegated all of her work out to somebody else. This is something that really is going to resonate with small business owners because everybody wants to achieve that. The dream of a small business owner is to make things easy, simple, have all your extra time. You probably don't find that. You probably find that it's extra work, extra effort, out of hours. You deal with all of the problems that come up with yourself. But Upwork is playing on that dream, helping you to get more done and making it really easy by clicking on there, learn how. Another example I've got here is from Aussie Farmers Direct. This website delivers farm fresh produce direct to your door. Let us take care of the shopping. At Aussie Farmers Direct, we deliver mouth-watering Aussie produce and household staples direct to your door. Shop now. So they've grabbed your attention with a beautiful big picture with some amazing fruits and vegetables in the box that just look great. And with a heading, let us take care of the shopping. Isn't that what we want? Going out and doing the shopping is a hassle. Knowing that you're supporting the local farmers, that you're getting the delivery straight there. You've got everything as fresh as you possibly can. I think they deliver you recipes to go with it as well. How good is that? So they're going to deliver that straight to your door, and they're taking care of the shopping. That is the benefit that you get, and that is an amazing picture to paint. And they've got their shop now straight away, this picture at the top of their screen. So it makes it really easy. You sold, you click on it, you find out more, make it happen straight away. Another example I've got here is from everybody's favorite, Netflix. Netflix website does exactly the same type of marketing. You've got an image here that describes all the different things that are available on Netflix. That's a huge benefit. See what's next. That's your headline. That draws people out. Watch anywhere. Cancel at any time. So the benefit is that you're going to get all of these things. You're going to see what's on now, see what's on next, do it in whatever order you want, wherever you are. And then they've also taken it one step further. What are the customers' problems? That they may not want to buy extra things for extra money. That's going to be a recurring service. They're worried, what happens if I don't like it? So they're giving you an offer straight away in really simple terms to fix that problem that you could potentially be experiencing. They make it really clear that you're not going to have to worry about that with Netflix because you can make a cancellation and you get a whole month's worth of service for free. This marketing framework works on Facebook as well. This is an example from the Facebook.com business website. If you do Facebook for your business, and I can imagine a lot of you do, go check this website out. There is a lot of really amazing information on there about marketing as a whole, as well as how to leverage Facebook effectively and strategically to make sure that you're spending your time effectively. Their example here, cocktails anyone. That's your heading. That grabs everybody's attention. And look at that big martini glass. That stands out straight away. Then they go on and they describe what it is, their picture. Stop by after work and mingle with Arlington Club's signature cocktails, open till 4 a.m. So they've described what it is and the benefits that you're going to get by it. You're gonna get to mingle, you're gonna get the signature cocktails, and you're gonna get to stay as late as you want. Now what you can't see, because I cropped the image off here, is that the bottom of this Facebook ad has a link on it that goes straight to directions to the Arlington Club. So their call to action, they want to get you to go there. You click on that, it will show you directions straight from where you are on how to get to that restaurant. So as you can see, this marketing framework is going to work on any marketing channel. It's going to work on your Facebook, on your Twitter, on your Instagram, all your digital channels. It's also going to work offline as well. You can use it for creating radio ads. You can use it for creating television commercials, for creating DL brochures, for creating signs on the side of the road. Anything that you do, you want to be leveraging all of this together. You want to be grabbing them, giving them a little bit of information, putting them in that ideal place they want to be, and then you want to call to action, make it really easy for them to take action and make something happen. So my question for you, given this easy method that we've talked about now, how are you going to use this in your business? It is not difficult. Your task before you go back after lunch is to take 2 minutes and think about 1 or 2 effective marketing messages that you can use straight away in your business. Okay? That's it. So I'm ready to take some questions. So if you've got anything that you'd like to know, can you pop it in the questions panel and we'll address it in just a moment. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that, Megan, for sharing with us today. It was great to hear that some really interesting and relatable examples and opportunities that we can all take advantage of when moving forward for marketing in our business. Like Megan said, this is now an opportunity to post whatever questions you have in the question panel box. We do have some questions here. Just the first one from Graham. What approach to marketing would you recommend, Megan, for a new sole trader entrant into the professional service market, specifically within Brisbane?
Okay, so professional services, you're going to find that professional services is all about who you know. Networking is super important. So I would suggest that you find some friends or some business colleagues that you already know. Leverage something like LinkedIn to be able to introduce yourself to a couple other people. Find some organizations, whether there's a chamber of commerce or economic group or something like that, some sort of business development group that you might be able to get into. That's going to really give you a strong connection with a few people in the area that you're going to be able to hopefully see again and again. When I started doing this, I hated going to public events and talking to other people. And my trick that someone gave me was, if you go to a networking event, set yourself a really little goal. That it might be speak to 3 people. Even if they're people you already know, you've done something. And when you get past that, you can say, right, I'm going to ask someone to introduce me to somebody new. And your goal might be, let's meet 2 new people. But you'll find that professional services is all about the one-to-one connections that you have with other people, and it's about growing those. So talk about your personal connections first, and then when you've got an idea of who your customer base, something like targeted Facebook ads using their audience methods and your interests could potentially be useful for you as well.
Awesome. Okay. A question here from Vic. what is a good return rate on advert investment? So for example, if you spend $100, would you expect $1,000 in sale or $2,000? What are your thoughts, Megan?
That's a very good question, Vic. You will find that everything is different, depending on what you're doing, depending on what you're planning on, depending on what your sales funnel is. If you have a sales funnel in place, creating that sales funnel is going to help you to figure out what each step in the process is. That maybe your first thing is that you're going to ask people, you're going to maybe do some advertisements, maybe do some Google ads. And when you've got people on the Google ads, you're going to ask them to go through to sign up for something free on your website. With the something free on your website, that may go into a drip marketing email campaign that then afterwards you follow up with the free seminar. And you'll find that when you put your money out there, you're not going to know exactly what your return on investment is going to be until you've done some practice with it. And it really depends on what channels you're using as well. So my clients here in the Whitsundays, our small businesses find that traditional channels like the newspaper are often out of their budget, and that by doing things like your online ads, like Facebook ads and Google ads, and things like that, or Instagram marketing, you keep your costs right down, and you can get more feedback through that.
Okay, really interesting insight there. I guess Samantha would like to know, what marketing channels can you suggest for entering the education industry specifically in the form of primary school field?
Okay, so Samantha, are you a teacher or are you offering services to teachers? I'm not really quite sure. Can you pop something else into the questions panel and we'll come back to you? Excellent.
Just an idea from James. Oh, so services to schools, Samantha's immediately.
Services to schools. So Samantha, again, look, you will find that a newspaper ad or things like that aren't very targeted. What you need to do, Samantha, and this is going to apply to everybody, is find out where your target market exists already. Where are people already active? You may find Facebook groups. You may find Pinterest. A lot of teachers use Pinterest. You may find that there are some industry magazines or industry associations that send newsletters out. Find out from some of your customers or potential customers in that industry, where are they? What do they do? And you want to action them and catch them where they already are. And that's the best advice I can give you on that.
Awesome. Clinton would like to know, is the marketing work done once you've attracted your customer and converted them into a paying job, or what role does marketing take once you've actually secured the customer?
That's a great question, Clinton. Look, I consider marketing to be an ongoing thing. Getting a new customer takes a lot more work than keeping existing customers. However, you still need to follow up with your existing customer base as well. So I would say that if you have an existing business already, I would start out with marketing to your existing customers to try to encourage resale of things that they've already bought, to let them know the full range of your products and services, educate them, and keep on the top of their mind. Doing things like your Facebook feed and your email marketing are really cheap and easy ways to do that. MailChimp lets you have up to 2,000 subscribers free of charge, no cost, just the time of putting something together.
Excellent. We received this question from Kiara via the email response to the webinar. We're always told that small business never thinks big or big enough. Should we be marketing to our known markets and established customers, or should we be marketing to markets that we don't already have yet, even if it's international?
So that is going to map back to what we talked with at the beginning about your business goals. So if your goal right now is to solidify your existing client base, that's where you want to be marketing now. If you feel like you've got a good handle on that, and what you really need to do is to, you've got a new product that has a completely new target audience, that's when you say, right, my marketing push right now is going to be in raising awareness of this new thing that we do with this new group of people. So you've got to figure out what their problems are, what benefits they're going to achieve by going through you, and creating an effective marketing message to them. So it really depends on your goals, and I would say don't work on more than maybe 2 or 3 different marketing goals at most at the same time, because you're going to find it too hard to do.
Okay, thank you for that. Paul Ellis asks, I have a successful Facebook marketing campaign, as far as reach goes anyway, with my last post reaching over 10,000 people, although his actual page only has 200 local followers. He wants to know, how does he convert the likes into sales?
That's a good one, Paul. Come into my office at some stage, because I know you're around here, and I'll give you a free consult, which I do to any local businesses, and you guys may find that you have marketing people in your area that will give you a free consult as well. But in general, look, your Facebook campaigns, it all depends on what you're trying to do with that campaign. If the goal of your Facebook campaign is to get likes, you can do that as a specific Facebook campaign, and then you know that that's happening. Converting people into sales is, again, all about that sales funnel, Paul. It's about figuring out how to get people from finding out about your services and leading them down that path and showing them that what you do is really valuable. I find that a really effective way to do that is the drip marketing email campaigns. So you can use something like MailChimp. Your website, if it's linked up to something like that, can be really good. And what the drip marketing campaign is that you get people to sign up for something on your website. So it may be, a free ebook talking about something that matters to them. And by also signing up to that, they get onto your email marketing list. And your email marketing series may send out a message every week over 4 weeks, telling them a little bit more about your services and your products and what you can do for them, so that by the time they get to the end, they know you, they've had a bunch of interactions with you, they've got a lot of trust, and they're ready to take that action that you put in that last email to give you a call or send you an email or whatever. Your digital marketing channels, you'll find, have really good tracking and analytics, so you can see exactly what's going on with every person at every stage. So that's a great way to get started in converting your likes into sales.
Awesome. So now Jan would like to know, what's the difference between marketing and business development?
So business development as a whole is just the idea of taking your business, figuring out what's working, what isn't, and figuring out where you need to focus your attention, right? So business development can be creating a marketing strategy and doing some of that marketing. Your business development can be getting new staff on. It can be addressing issues that you've got with workplace health and safety. It can be all sorts of things. And what I'd suggest, Jan, is if you go and you just type in queensland.business.gov.au, which is the Small Business Queensland website, there are lots of articles about lots of different things and aspects of business development. Marketing is just one way that you can work on developing your business.
Absolutely. Graham would actually like to ask what you recommend in terms of the balance of digital and non-digital marketing to SMEs who may or may not need professional HR or people services.
Graham, can you pop another note in there, just talking about what does your business do if you don't, people who don't need professional services, what are you offering them? Are you like maybe an online shop? So if you want to just pop a question in there, just so that I have some context. So you're not online at all? So you're a face-to-face business?
Yeah.
Okay, Graham. Look, again, I think this is going to go right back to what I said before. It's all about knowing who your target audience is for exactly the service that you're trying to provide and finding out where they are already. So I love Facebook because Facebook lets you target your marketing really narrowly. Google ads in terms of digital are really good as well because you can have your ads just show up to people in a specific geographical area who type in specific keywords. When it comes to offline marketing, there is absolutely no problem at all in finding whether there's an industry magazine or something like that. You find where your audience is, something where they're already interested in, and that's where you want to try to tap into them, exactly where they are. And what that balance of online, offline is going to totally depend on your business. If you sell dentures, you may not find digital marketing to work very well for you as much because people in that higher age bracket don't use the online space as much. Time for a small to medium enterprise. Look, Graham, I would say email marketing. If you've got people on a marketing list, that's awesome because it hits straight onto their inbox. If you, Facebook will let them reach you where they're already doing stuff. Again, if there's some sort of an industry newsletter, an industry organization that they're part of, if you can find a way to present with that industry organization or buy advertising, that's a great place to do it as well, for sure.
Excellent. We've got another email question coming in. This is one from James. How long should I be waiting for till I start seeing results after implementing these marketing strategies? Is it an immediate benefit, or is it a long-term benefit, or how do I effectively plan out the timeline?
That's a good question. So your timeline is going to be part of how you create your marketing plan. If you're doing something online, your Google ads and your Facebook ads, for example, those paid advertising methods, you're going to find you turn them on and you turn them off. So they work exactly when you want them to, and you get your immediate return on investment. If you're doing something online like search engine optimization for your business, you'll find that fastest you're going to find significant changes can be, say, 4 to 6 weeks. And a lot of that's going to be a long-term thing as you continue to develop your website and build more keywords in and things like that. So it depends on what channels you're using to some extent. If you're doing a radio campaign and your radio campaign is running for 3 months, you'll find that the majority of what you're going to get out of that radio campaign is during that period. You'll get a little bit of a flow-on effect afterwards from people remembering your ads, but the majority of that's going to be while your campaign is running. So it just depends on what your campaign is and how it works.
Okay. So Jesse would like to know, how much time should I set aside each week to focus on marketing my consultancy business?
That's a good question. So I would say don't bite off more than you can chew. So having consistent time and creating a habit of doing this is really important. So going back to what Jan was asking before about what's the difference between marketing and business development, from a business development standpoint, one of the best things that you can do is set aside non-negotiable time where all you're doing there is focusing on rebuilding your business and expanding your business and not answering to customer inquiries or working on the till or checking on your suppliers and your stock. And marketing can be part of that. And I normally tell my clients, look, pick a time that you know that you can do. If you say, I think I can manage 2 hours a week for my business development, fantastic. Start with 1 and try it for 4 to 6 weeks. Make sure that you're in the habit of doing it, and then you'll find that as you're working on it, that you will get so excited about it that you're going to be able to start creeping that out and building that time up a little bit more as you streamline the rest of your business.
Excellent. So Callie would like to know, I do Facebook and Instagram marketing mostly for my tattoo remove business. I get plenty of views and likes, but very little, if any, conversions into sales. Any suggestions?
Yes, Kelly. Look, Facebook, it's really easy to do Facebook and Instagram as a business. It is hard to get everybody to follow through and to actually come in. Getting those conversions up is going to be a question of finding out what they need and offering them something that they can't refuse. Whether it's something about, you know, getting them to drop into the shop and we'll give you a, you know, blah blah blah, where it's something that maybe you've got extra stock of, or something that's just a time thing, that can be really useful. For a tattoo business, it might just be a free consultation to give you a bit of an idea. And I would say that, look, especially on your social media, it's all about engagement. So you don't want to be just talking out to avoid. You want to be finding things that you can post on and engage with other businesses as well, that you want to encourage other people to like and share your posts. And I'd say, Callie, when you're done here, go online and have a search for Facebook engagement, and look at some of the articles that you find online there. You'll find it very helpful.
Excellent. Kimberly, just as a really quick question, do dropping business cards and postcard flyers off actually work?
Yes and no, Kimberly. It depends on where your target market is and what they're doing. If you're the lady who was talking to us before, who's doing support to schools, business cards, flyers, like a whole pack of things like that can work really well if you send them to the right person in that school. If you know that the principal who makes those decisions, that you can organize a marketing kit and you can send it straight to them with a little sample of what you do, or a link online to a video if what you do is a service. It's all about getting your information to the right people and putting the right message on there, and then again following up with it as well, having some sort of a method that you use. So dropping off business cards and postcards and flyers can absolutely work if it's targeted and you've got a good message and it's going to the right people.
Okay, I think we'll end that there, then hitting time at this stage. Thank you everyone for attending the webinar today. Please remember to download the handouts before you exit. This webinar is being recorded and will be uploaded to the Impact Innovation Group YouTube page. Should you wish to view it again. You will receive an email with information about the Queensland Small Business Week with a very short survey that will help us tailor these webinars to meet your interests and needs. So thank you very much, Megan, for your time, and thank you everyone for tuning in, and have a great day.
Thanks. Anybody who missed me on your questions, send me a message on LinkedIn and I'll get back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Megan.
Cheers, guys.